Welcome back to Improve with Joe. If this is your first time seeing a video from me, welcome for the first time. I provide a unique mix of inspirational, motivational, improvement, fitness, nutritional based, political, book based, fictional, non-fictional. I might have already said fictional, but that kind of generic, grab bag of topics. You never know. And if this is the second or third time that you've seen me, go ahead and subscribe, because building that following, building that subscriber base, building the community, definitely looking forward to growing that over time. And let's just get right to it. Today's video is about DJI drug drones. Da-da-da. Basically, drones have become more and more useful to a lot of people. Myself, their videography, photography, all that good stuff. For people along the southern border, maybe there's something else. For people that are trying to get stuff into prison, that's something else as well. But without further delay, drugs and drones. And while this has been happening for the past few years, you go back on YouTube 5-6 years and you see a video of it, recently it's kind of been more and more prevalent. With Trump's new changes to the border wall, he's increasing the routes and crosses off a lot of the potential routes that people have. So, and entrepreneurial, inspiring people, not inspiring, entrepreneurial, intrepid, whatever you want to call it, cartel members have literally been using drones to fly drugs across the border. It's crazy, but it's literally happening. I saw a recent article about this, and I figured it was still happening. So it's just interesting to kind of see definitively this is definitely still happening. One example from 2017, which a lot of people highlight, it was one person who was basically one American citizen on our side, United States side, was in communication with someone on Mexico's side, some suspected cartel member, someone, and basically they sent over 13 pounds worth of methamphetamine. And while the guy was arrested, he still declares that it was not his drone. It probably wasn't. It probably was one of the cartel members who flew it over, and he just intercepted it and picked it up, and we just happened to catch him. So, while the wall is blocking off a lot of common routes, there's still a lot of other routes, and you really can't do anything against the sky. Well, there's still some things that you can do. As I go through my notes, as I'm building through this note process. So to speculate with current technology, let's look at a few of the current drone systems on the market by DJI and other companies, which you could use to literally fly drugs across the border. One of the videos tested by Photography Talk, put the link in. The Mavic Mini was a drone weight of 249 grams, yet it was able to lift 181 grams. Same thing with Mavic Air 2, 570 grams, was able to lift 830 grams. Mavic Pro 2 was 907 grams, and was able to lift 1,137 grams. So there's some, increasing payload ability for these drones. And as you go up in actual drone weight, drone, gear sizing, propeller size, gears, actual motor power, the payload goes up for it as well. So you look at another example is the, thank you Kevin Tech Noob, for testing the DJI Matrice 600 Pro and its payload capability. And it's stated as 6 kilograms or 13 pounds. Just so happens to be the 13 pounds that the guy in 2017 was caught with. 13 pounds is the payload, so they were like, hey, let's strap on 13 pounds. But yeah, they tested it and, able to fly with no problem. And with additional augments to it, different engines, different propellers, they're able to fly even farther and with even more payload. So, and you go down to some of the industrial systems that DJI and other companies are using now, whether or not it's to, put out fires or to disinfect certain things or to check just cables and cranes and all that kind of stuff for construction. These are some heavy lift drones, and a couple that are even capable right now of 60 pounds. Okay, so imagine a drone flying 2 miles, 3 miles, and dropping off 60 pounds worth of drugs, and it's just being like, oh yeah, that just happened. Can't really do anything about it. Well, that's the situation. And while there is a big issue with installing counter-drone systems based on the funding and the amount of time that it would take, the border is approximately 2,000 miles long. And that's a long way, but it's not impossible to defend. There's one company called Drone Shield, and they're using both different kind of jammers, both for RF frequency and GPS jammers, And basically, they have a system to either, to step one, listen for it. They use very sensitive microphones and listening for these drone sounds, and they've been able to detect it and just identify and catalog what different drones sound like. So they're just listening, and they're like, oh, there's a drone. And they have these sophisticated systems which map it along radar and just current maps and all that kind of stuff. And they're able to see, okay, there is a drone. And then they're able to go out and intercept it with these new technologies. And this is just part of what they're doing. This is Drone Shield is currently only used in federal agencies, but they're being pushed so local and state agencies can use it as well. So unfortunately, the U.S. administration has decided to blacklist DJI. That's a complicated issue and something we'll talk about later. Basically, it means that there's not that great of a relationship between U.S. and China right now. Shouldn't really surprise you. Just like how there's not that great of a relationship between U.S. and Mexico. Shouldn't really surprise you as well. You know, in the whole improvement, idealistic, utopian view, how great would it be if China helped us secure our border? Or the mere idea of China helping us secure our border got our U.S. companies in line, Drone Shield being one of them, and other companies would spawn up. Once there's actually demand for it, companies can fill that demand. You know, we're entrepreneurial. That's the whole thing with capitalism. It's there. We would be able to do it. But so yeah, we need some sort of drone system to defend our southern border and also to defend prisons and all that kind of stuff. One, I don't think we should have for-profit prisons to begin with, but this is the multi-layered facet of our world and all these issues and stuff I want to talk about. So yeah, while it is a bit idealistic and utopian, there is potential in the future to work with DJI to help get the technology and use what they're doing, certain systems and all that, integrated onto our own systems, have US-based systems, products, technology. The whole supply chain should be in-house. I'm all for globalism. We all need to have specificity of countries and products and all that kind of stuff, but certain national security concerns and products should be made here or made wherever your country is. I think that's something that, it helps you stand on your own 2 feet. That's something that this COVID and coronavirus stuff has really indicated, that we don't really stand on our own 2 feet, and we can't. Or we haven't been able to because of corporate interests over the past 60, 80, 100 years. They have not been looking out for us in the right way. Corporations are not your friend. I will go even a step further. If we legalize drugs, then this all would be a moot point anyway. If we legalize drugs and get the demand, and control the demand here, and control the supply, we get rid of so many illegal systems and the cartels, the wasted funding needed for all the security and stuff, and it's just, yeah. So that's a good first attempt for this video. Hopefully the title wasn't too clickbaity. Hopefully you learned something new. I'm going to try to not edit a whole bunch of it, just like always. And I'm going to put in all of the links for the different videos that I've seen already and link it back up to how, hey, here's a current problem. There are current solutions. There are drones traveling over the U.S. border, and we could stop them. We have technology to stop them. Should we? Yes, we should. Okay, but maybe we can make a change that would prevent that problem from even being there in the first place. If we controlled our own drug supply, whether it's marijuana, cocaine, heroin, any other narcotic, like if we were able to control that and produce it as a country and tax it and make it legal, we would get rid of all of these so many negative things. But even before that happens, we could work cooperatively with other countries, with other companies in other countries, and that requires a lot of stuff, of course, and that's why we have the people where we are. But now I'm rambling. Thank you for watching. Thank you for learning something new. Definitely looking forward to, at the start of the year, having daily videos where I'm going to be, it's kind of be like a calendar. You pull off a calendar and you get a new video. It's a new word of the day, new quote, new inspirational topic, new cool thing that happened in the world, something like that. So that's the goal for it. I don't have all solutions. I don't have the answers. I'm learning as you're learning as we go through this. So thank you for everyone. If you're watching at this point, everyone subscribed. Really, really appreciate the support and engagement, the community feel of it. And I'm really loving this, and I hope you enjoyed as well. So thank you again for Improving with Joe. And go out there, be great, and have a great night, day. Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and good night.
Legalize and regulate the drugs, please, for the love of God. A wall isn't going to solve the drug problem, okay?